I want to share with you today a principle that I learned from a 80 some odd year old man. Actually, several old men. It's simple, but it passes a lot of people up. No doubt there have been times when people waste time, kill time. They sit around watching Netflix or YouTube videos. This one's going to be beneficial to you. And life just slips away. Not every moment is savored and taken advantage of. The biblical scripture and principle we can add to this is redeeming the time because the days are evil. The other day I was in a nursing home and I went back into the memory care unit, the lockdown unit where the Alzheimer's patients were, and it was men. It was only men back there. As I sat there, it had been a couple of years since I'd been back there, maybe even 3 years, I'm not sure. But when I was back there and I looked around, I noticed that there were men that I remember seeing in there. I remembered their faces, at least a couple of them. There was probably about 12, 15 in this lunchroom. The workers back there were feeding them. One of them got up and started walking away. They had to sit him back down just because he didn't know where he was. Different instances of them just showing signs of staring off into space and not having a clue who they were or where they were. But when I looked at those men, I realized that one day, maybe 20, 40 years ago at least, that those men that were having to be taken care of, at one time they took care of someone else. At one time they probably had a job and got up every morning and went to work. They had a car, they had a home, they cut the grass, they paid bills. They were responsible people who lived lives, but now they were there. Another instance is Brother Morris, and I think I've told y'all this before. Just went and seen him in the hospital. He's not doing real good. He's got cancer in his esophagus. He's been fighting it for a very long time. But when I talk to him about his sickness, because I try to sympathize with people, that's what I would like people to do with me if I were in that condition. And he says, well, I've lived a good life. I've been blessed. I haven't had any health problems until this right here. So what is that message to us that are under 70 years old or under 80 years old? The message to us is live that good life and take advantage of your health and the time that you have right now, because one day you may be where they are. And when you are where they are, then you want to be able to look back and say, hey, I've lived my life to the fullest. I've had a good life. God's blessed me. God's helped me. And I'm thankful for what I've had and where I've been. Not look back and say, I wish I would have done this or I would have done that. I would have changed this or I would have changed that. But look back and say, hey, I'm glad for the life that I lived. No doubt you would change some things. You would do some things different because hindsight's always 20/20. But what I'm talking about is take advantage of what you have right now and don't waste away your life complaining. Don't waste away your life playing the victim. Don't waste away your life watching meaningless television shows or movies that aren't going to benefit you in any way. Don't just kill time or waste time, but take advantage of every moment, because one of these days that moment's going to be gone. The moment or the opportunity to get out and walk to the mailbox, to get out and walk a trail, to go to work, to do something significant and be a contribution to this world. One of these days, you may be in that lockdown unit. One of these days, you may be in that hospital bed. One of these days, you may not be able to get up out of the recliner. So you want to make experiences and have times right now. So if you do, and I pray to God that you don't, and I pray to God that I don't, but if you do, you can look back and still say, hey, you know what? I've had a good life. I've been blessed, and I'm thankful for what God has done. I don't have any regrets because I've lived my life to the fullest. So I want you to just imagine for a moment, what if that was you in that lockdown unit? What if you had to have a CNA or an aide take you by the arm to show you where your room was that was just down the hall? What if you had to have somebody help you go to the bathroom? What if you had to have somebody shower you? You want to be able to look back and say, hey, you know what? Somebody's taking care of me, but I've given my contribution to this world. So understand, take advantage of the moment right now because it's all that we've got. I'm taking advantage of this moment and sharing what God showed me through this to you. That's all I got to say. That's all I wanted to share with you. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.